dirty. Right? Every year at Easter time, I find a birdie beetle. My daughter just, well, I'm going to swear in a minute. Can you block your ears in a minute? Anyway. So I found a birdie beetle every year show bag from this guy here. Now this one is a beauty. It says, the 28th of the 7th, day 6. Is that your writing there, Rice? I made Hishi. This is a gift from me to the best bloke I've ever worked with. You know what it is? It's a badge there of Chopper Reed. Reedy. And it says, fucking hello! Sorry, Paige. It's full of memories, and like as I said, like there's so many memories, there's so many things I love about you guys. I can't get over who's turned up tonight. I really can't, because there's so many. If you think about it, there's so many different people that's turned up tonight. I'm just trying to think. Have I got on? There's also the ups and downs of working at Baxter. There's the times that are fantastic. There's the times that I kind of think, oh, it's absolutely horrific, And I think about the fantastic times. And Rice spoke to me tonight about one thing. And one of the most enjoyable times I had at Baxter, I've had a lot, but was when Rice left. The reason why I say that is because we sat down many moons ago, and I lost my dad a while back, and when Ricey lost his dad, and one of the best things I ever got from my dad was his medals, his war medals. Both Ricey's and my dad were in the war together. And I remember talking to Ricey one day when he lost his dad, and he said to me, you know what, the one thing I really want is my dad's medals, that's all I want. And he couldn't get to them, and I'm not going to go into those details. However, there was a few of us here that toiled pretty hard. And I remember driving home one time, when he was leaving, that is, and I'm driving home one time and I got this phone call from this person. They said, you can have the medals. And we got the medals for this guy here. And on the day he left, there was a few of us in his office, and there was only a few because we wanted to do it behind closed doors. Right? There was Bragg, there was Silly, myself, Jonesy. Yeah, that's about it. But, mate, you reckon Neil Joins doesn't cry? We all bloody cry. We all did. And that is a highlight of helping out a mate and doing something for a mate, There's been some low times. I remember back in '96, and you guys probably realise this, but I had a bit of a problem back in '96. Some things got to me and whatever, I needed a bit of time off work. And I remember my family was there, and that's the best thing you can probably do. But I also remember getting a phone call from Jonesy, and typical Jonesy phone call was, Ishi, how you going? Have you been to the nut house yet? This weekend we're going to go camping. Can you get out of the padded cell for the weekend? No problem. So I did. I went camping with these guys, and Leslie remembers that weekend. And we went camping, and I don't know whether it was the fact that we sat by the campfire and we sang Kumbaya songs and marshmallows or whatever. Well, the fact we got rotten drunk, it cured me. And that's what the mates are all about, And I'll never, ever, ever forget those things. Regrets. I have a lot of regrets. I have a few regrets. Anybody who works at Baxter has a few regrets, and probably one regret is we all let our families down. And Stewie could probably, over the last year, went to Vanderwillen. When you work in manufacturing or do whatever, you let your family down. You try to do the right thing by your family. Your family comes first, but I've got to do my job and all this stuff. We all know what that means, So then, I apologise for letting you and the guys down. I know that there's been times when that's happened, and I apologise for that. But anyway, that's what happened. Another regret I have, and it took me 24 and a half years. No, I'm going on a bit. Sorry, 24 and a half years to realise this, and it's got a bit to do with what I just said then. Was back in June, July. I was kind of facing a bit of a trauma in the fact that, hey, what do I do? Do I stay with Baxter? Do I do something else? Do I take a redundant? What's going to happen? And that week we had the people starting, the new cleaners starting, and that week we lost a dear friend of ours, Lee Beckford, and geez, I didn't go to the funeral. And I really regret not going to the funeral, right? And I got a phone call from one of you guys, and I'm not going to look at you right now, but you let me have it for 5 seconds, and then you said, look, Richie, we love you, but, don't do it again. And I apologise to all those people here who I upset. Right? I really apologise about that. And I know that when, I hope it's a long time away, but when I do go, I know she'll give me a bloody beating when I get home. So I'm sorry I really am sorry about that. I know I let a lot of people down. I apologise. There's a couple of things I want to do, but just, I want to thank whoever planned tonight. I know Pete, and I know Melinda involved, I don't know who else was, so, I just want to thank those guys because, again, thank you for bringing the friends that, are really here tonight. That's great. So, thank you very much. So finally, I've got just one last thing to do, right? This is a bit of a tradition of Baxter. A lot of people don't know about this, right? But when you work in the position I work in, and going back 7 years ago, we all remember Victor Sultana, right? Now, you have to be a scab, right, to work in the position I work in, a scavenger. And there's a certain way of doing things, okay? So you get the position and you've got to recycle things come out, metals and God knows what else. You get first choice, babe. So, I've got to pass this tradition on to someone else here tonight. And, I know the fact that going back those 7 years ago, 6 years ago, whatever, with Victor, there was a few RHS issues coming in. For example, Victor's head was hitting the top of his falcon. His wheels were wearing out and that type of stuff. But there's a few things that you got to, number one, you got to try and feed Maltese to get this position. And you've got to be a scavenger. And there's a few other things. But look, we've got the rule book here. And it's actually, look, the Baxter, Steptoe and Son tradition. So there are some rules, and I just want to read these rules out. Number one rule is, you get first choice. Number 2 rule is, second choice, people must grovel to you. And number 3, you've got to be sneaky. So when you take things home, you've got to be sneaky about it, right? Over the years, I've been sneaky with Lynn, right? You've got to hide goods from your partner. You know what it's like, guys, you take something home, freaking hell, you dealt with that shit. I've only been caught once. Lynn was outside doing the washing one day, and she said to me, what have you got behind the shed out the back there? A 30-foot windmill. Now, you can't be greedy all the time, right? You've got to give some items away. So, yeah, you can. Now, when you give away crap, right, because you get crap, you've got to act as if you're upset about it. And you could have used it. It's things like, you've got to find out who the people are. You've got to go near them and say, look, there's some stuff out there. I don't really need 500 wheels. I could have used them, but you try and set their ears prick up and what do you got? We'll try and get rid of that way. Try to sell the crap. Words all the time. If someone beats you to something, always remember who they are. Always remember who they are. And once offside, it never leaves, And they're the rules, man, I'm telling you right now. They're the rules. So look, I've got a few contenders for this. And particularly over the last few months, I've been looking at, over the last couple of years, I've been looking at. I've got a few contenders. I've got to make you up. What's that? Might be one or two. But look, these are the people that we're looking out for over the last couple of years. And one of the top contestants for this job was Richie Caruana. He ticked all the boxes, all these, good scavenger. He doesn't work at Baxter anymore. Contractors rule! Kevin Burgess. Does everyone know Kevin Burgess? Yeah. He's one of the best scavengers I've ever seen in my life. He kind of ticks some of the boxes. A good scavenger, but we like to leave Kevin in the background a bit and shit stirring about things. Don't we, mate? Hey? Don't we? Neil joins. He earns $500,000 every year. Can't be a contender. Greg Finlay. You show great potential, Greg. You need to work on your Maltese connection, and you've got to buy a ute. Now, does anybody here know Daryl O'Loughlin? Huh? He's a new guy who's the supervisor. Right? He's showing great. He's married to a Maltese girl.